President Trump says that Congress has a once-in-a-generation opportunity to pass a sweeping tax overhaul. The Republican plan introduced just yesterday would create 3 individual income tax brackets. They are 12, 25, and 35%. Republicans say middle-class Americans will benefit from nearly doubling the standard deduction and boosting the child care tax credit. But Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer said the plan, with its corporate cuts and elimination of the estate tax, largely benefits the rich.
Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin joins us now from the Treasury Department in Washington. Secretary Mnuchin, good morning.
Good morning. It's great to be here with you.
Tax reform or tax cuts are hard because you have to pay for them. And either you have to increase the growth of the economy or you have to have additional increases in spending or decreases in spending. And people worry that if you don't produce the economic growth, you're going to have to cut spending, and that means cutting entitlements. What happens if you don't have the economic growth?
Charlie, I think, we're very comfortable. The president's #1 focus is creating economic growth, and that's a combination of tax reform, regulatory relief, and trade. And we're very comfortable we're going to get to 3% GDP, which creates over $2 trillion of revenues and $10 trillion of economic growth.
But that's an assumption many people disagree with, that you can't reach in 2018 more than 3% growth.
Well, there's some people that disagree, but most people agree. And I would just remind you the Obama projections were substantially higher than that, but they only were at 2% because of various different policies coming out of the financial crisis.
Well, Secretary, the critics are speaking up very loudly. They say the rich only get richer. Why is that not the case?
Well, as I've said before, the president is committed that this is really about a middle-income tax cut, simplifying personal taxes, and making our corporations and pass-throughs competitive with the rest of the world.
Mr. Secretary, cabinet members like yourself have come under criticism for the use of private planes and expensive government military planes as well. Can you promise the American taxpayer that when it's on their dime and for the remainder of your tenure in office, that you will use commercial aircraft and air flights?
I can promise the American taxpayer the only time that I will be using Mil-Air is when there are issues either for national security or where we have to get to various different things. There's no other means.
With respect to the corporate repatriation, how do you guarantee that those funds that the corporations will then have will be used for economic growth, to build plants, to hire new people and create jobs?
Well, Charlie, we're very comfortable with the concept of there's going to be a one-time tax on what we call deemed repatriation. You can think of it effectively as paying a toll on going from a worldwide system to a territorial system. As a result of that, I think we'll get back somewhere between $2 and $4 trillion. It's just an incredible amount of money that will come back here. And we're very comfortable that the combination of that and immediate expensing is going to create massive investment in the United States.
Can we focus on the lowest tax bracket increases for just a second? We have the numbers here that it increases to 12% from 10%. So how do you justify the increase on some of the country's lowest earners?
It doesn't increase at all. With raising the standard deduction, effectively the 10% bracket will disappear. And I can assure you there will be nobody that was in the 10% that will be paying higher taxes.
What's the timetable for getting this through Congress?
We're committed to getting this to the president to sign in December. So we're expecting that the House begins the markup in October. They got a lot of work to do. The Senate will work along with them. We got a lot of people in Treasury that are working with us, that are helping the staff, and we're going to move this very, very fast.
Secretary Mnuchin, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Appreciate it.